This is 4TW Live for September 13th, 2014. Episode 2, Esports Aren't Real Sports Anyways. Welcome to 4TW Live. I am Admiral Joker. Joining me this week is Carty and Eric. How you guys doing this week?
Doing good,
What's up?
man.
I'm doing good.
Hey.
Alrighty. Well, we got some real cool stuff going on this week, so let's go ahead and get things started. Biggest thing this week, well, kind of a continuation from everything going on last couple weeks, more mobile news. This time from Apple. Yay, Apple. Okay. Anyways, Apple
Not
once
really.
again announced their latest in the iPhone line. This includes an iPhone 6 and the iPhone Plus. So, the new iPhone is the iPhone 6, rather, has a pretty nice resolution, 1334 by 750, nothing really standard. The iPhone Plus, though, has a 1920 by 1080 screen, which I don't think any of the previous iPhones had an HD display. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Carty. You're more of a mobile phone expert than I am.
They didn't call it HD. It was Retina display or what have you. But anyway, it's not the same. It's supposed to be better and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, if I may say, the main difference is that instead of relying only on a screen resolution, they also add the PPI to the resolution. So instead of having a 72 PPI, they usually have a 128 or 160 PPI, which
Exactly.
match the HD quality.
Yeah, this time I think they're at a 326 on the 6, and on the iPhone 6, a 401 PPI.
Exactly.
Pretty nice. But not as good as some of the Android phones, though. But the screen sizes, the iPhone 6 will be 4.7 inches, which is bigger than iPhone 5S, and the iPhone 6 Plus will be 5.5 inches.
Finally.
So Apple finally listened, or finally gave in, and created a phone that can somewhat rival the size of the Note for people who want a larger phone platform.
Pretty much. I mean, I'll quote my brother on this one, and he's Apple. He's a developer. He makes a very popular app, and basically he said, "Don't waste your money. I mean, unless you want a freaking phone that's like, I mean, it's basically a tablet. I mean, I don't know. I've seen the LG one in person. I've seen that one. I've seen the Microsoft one. I believe I think there was a Microsoft one too that was like 5.0 or 5.4 or something like that.
Yeah.
I can remember, but anyway, huge. I mean, it's like you don't think it's big, but go to a cell phone place and look, and you will see what I mean. It's huge. It's probably a little too big, but hey, to each his own. Some people might want a bigger screen,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it always depends on a lot of things. Like, for example, if you already own a tablet, rather an iPad or any Android device, I mean, you don't need a bigger phone screen. But if you don't have a tablet, then maybe it's a good investment.
Exactly.
I'm buying me a Note. I don't know about you guys, but I'm buying me a Note 4.
Yeah, I'm actually would love to have one. I still have my Nexus 10.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, the new CPU is supposed to bring an increase in performance by 25% and a 50% boost in GPU performance. What that really means in a phone, I have no idea. Excuse me. And should have better battery life thanks to a new chip. Okay, we'll see. I mean, no one can diss their hardware quality. Apple does make very good phones, in my mind. I just don't like their closed nature. But, hey, that's just me. The phones will launch in silver, space gray, and gold and be available on September 19th. So all those Apple fanboys out there, go ahead and start saving up for it. Or sell your old iPhone or whatever you got to do to get your latest Apple device.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered 10, so I'm going to give everybody one.
Okay, cool.
All right, good.
Do it live. Hey, Chris, live stream giveaway. Just an idea.
Oh, man.
That would be awesome, eh?
Hit 1,000 viewers, you'll give away a random iPhone.
Telling you, people would
Just
jump
an
on that
idea. Just an idea. Apple's other big announcement this week was the announcement of, well, once again, joining the bandwagon, the Apple Watch. which Apple will once again claim they invented. Forget about Samsung or Pebble or any of these other guys. They invented the smartwatch. Just remember that.
Yeah, mark your calendars.
Yes.
That'll be it.
Yes.
One thing I have to say though, overall, I mean, I never had the watch in my hand so far, but overall, I think the features sounds a little bit better on the iWatch, just because it's simpler and obviously the overall layout design on Apple are usually simpler. But as far as usability and actual usefulness, that's
gotta have an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Gotta have an iPhone.
Plus, if you want to put side-by-side comparisons, you take Samsung's recent upgrade of their smartwatch. They made some improvements. They took suggestions. They took the camera off because that was stupid. I mean, they made it more comfortable. There's a different kind of bands you can get now. The functionality, I've tested it out before because I bought a Pebble, but before I got my Pebble, I tried out the Samsung. I even went to Best Buy just a week ago and played with the new one. Mm-hmm. And again, it's the functionality. Honestly, I'm going to imagine the Apple is basically just a clone, and it's just Apple's version of it. But at the end of the day, it's what your preference is. If you have an iPhone, you're going to want to get one. If you have an Android, you're going to probably want to get the Samsung one. Although the Samsung one is exclusively for just Samsung, so keep that in mind. Because you have to have KitKat or higher, which is 4.4. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is you have to... Oh, and by the way, those aren't the only smartwatches out there. Sony has one, which is... I had some problems with it. Wasn't too fond of it. And the Pebble, of course, which I own a Pebble. The Pebble's probably the best one to go with, honestly, because you can use it on anything. It works for Apple. It works for Android. It's not limited. So if you're going to go with... And it's inexpensive, too. So the Pebble is... To be honest with you, that'd be the way to go if you want to get a smartwatch.
Yeah, because if I look up at the Apple Watch, I think it's worth like $500.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's pricey.
Well, remember, they have a digital crown, though. Nobody else has a digital crown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Plated with gold and shit.
Yeah. I do admit I like the form factor. I do like the design. I think it is a little more... I guess geeky looking, futuristic looking. Mm-hmm. Apple always does make stuff that does look good. However, and I do like kind of the layout. I don't know if Carty showed the picture of the icons on the watch. I kind of like that kind of look. That's actually pretty cool. I actually do kind of like this a little bit more in the Samsung one. I really kind of do. But I do expect an Android to another device to mimic this same layout eventually.
There is
make it better.
Well, there is an Android one, and I'm for the life of me, I might just look it up. But here, let's see, Android smartwatch. I think it was made by Motorola.
Oh that's that one watch, the round one.
Yeah, there's a round one coming out around.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It's called Moto 360. Yeah, I got a picture of it pulled up. And,
I know the one you're talking about.
And it's more like a traditional watch when you look at it, but it actually changes. It's water resistant. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. So, I mean...
Yeah, this one, actually, the Moto 360 looks like... And this is before we really started redoing the show when they announced this, sadly. I think they actually announced this a while back. Actually, I think it just came out a week or so ago. Yeah. But the Moto 360 I do really like. It is a snappy, professional-looking watch. In fact, if you wore this watch, you may not even know it's a smartwatch.
You won't know, yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Apple Watch is probably the first product that Apple is releasing that is not a pioneer. Because when they released the iPhone and when they released the iPad, they were mostly the first one, and everybody started making copies of that. iWatch,
whoa.
Apple Watch is...
They pioneered nothing. They have not pioneered a single thing.
Well, don't get Matt started.
The iPod was not the first MP3. Now, iTunes was them because they got all those licensing deals.
Yep.
And they revolutionized MP3 devices, but they did not invent it. The Roxio had one. There were several other ones before them. The iPhone, BlackBerry, Trio, Windows mobile devices,
it does.
Long way before the iPhone was. And the iPad, Microsoft had tablet devices out for over a decade before the iPad came out.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just answering a question on Twitch. He was asking, does the Pebble work with the Note 2? And yes, it does. It works with any Android, current Android.
Because Pebble is basically using Bluetooth technology that's like across platforms.
And there's a ton of apps that you can get specifically for the Pebble to support anything from answering a phone call to seeing a text message, your emails. I mean, it's got a lot of support. It's really good. So.
Back on my rant, the good thing Apple's about is making people making it consumer accessible. They are good at that. They make stuff that average consumers will want, whereas other companies usually make things that the average consumer isn't as leaning towards, due to they're not very good at the UI interface or making it all kind of sleek and shiny.
Exactly.
Apple does make stuff that the consumers will want. They never pioneered anything. They just made it consumer accessible. Except for the App Store was Apple's invention. I'll give them that. But other than that, in the iTunes, they haven't done much in terms of hardware. They just make it accessible. There were tablets before the iPad. Just nobody wanted one. There were Android tablets before the iPad.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. That's like, I don't think that they invented it. What I meant is that they pioneered the way to market it and
market it right.
The layout and the easiness.
Tablets the way we know them today.
Exactly.
I have always said that Steve Jobs is the Billy Mays of tech.
Yeah.
He was a Billy Mays of tech.
Yeah.
Never really invented anything, but he could market the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was damn good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for anybody out there that didn't read Steve Jobs' biography or have the audiobook, go buy it today.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You're going to learn a lot of things about marketing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Apple also announced the release of iOS 8 on September 17th. So, yay, a new version of iOS for those of you who own iOS devices. It's going to have some few updates and some new features that are going to be specifically designed for the new Apple devices coming out. But, it's iOS 8.
Yeah, my brother, being a developer, it's funny, it says huge, it says huge for developers, massive for everyone else. The funny thing is, that's one of the main things he was pissed off about. He didn't tell me why, he didn't go into detail, but he said that it's not good. There's a lot of problems, so I can only imagine what it could be exactly. But
huge for developers mean they'll actually make you make apps and not tell you no because they're assholes.
Yeah, I'm an Apple developer too, and when I got the Note, I was like, "Oh, that's a good news." And then I start reading a little bit further, and it's like, "Okay, there's a lot of good things, but it's actually making a lot of things scrappy for us to try to develop and make things even easier." Because it makes things easier on the client side when the customer purchase or use something, while on the developer side, it's just a pain in the ass to start implementing the new features.
Yeah. Well, it is, yeah. Well, Apple's never been very developer friendly from what I've heard.
No.
And Microsoft's kind of stuck in this weird limbo between between Android and iOS. And just Android, anybody can make anything they want, but God knows if it works.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm all for open source and open platform, but I think that Android went a little bit too far, and right now there's people
the wild west out there
crashing everything.
Say what you will about Apple. Microsoft kind of has that happy medium, just nobody has a Windows Phone. Which
exactly.
I read an article lately that said Microsoft is abandoning the Windows Phone platform instead of just calling it Windows now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
typical Microsoft.
And get rid of the Nokia name.
Yeah.
End of an era, people. End of an era.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've never been really a big fan of a Windows Phone, simply because every time I took one in my hand, it was always crashing.
Oh, I liked Windows Phone. My wife had one for a while. It was a great phone.
Well, he's also Canadian, so he has to support RIM and BlackBerry, so
he's the only one.
Can I use the F word here? The F word?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right,
of course.
because they've been pioneers on a lot of things in the business world for Blackberries and stuff like this. But I'm sorry, but a company that sit on their ass and hoping for, God knows what, is exactly what happened to them.
That's what happened to Palm.
That's what happened to Palm, and then HP bought them.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll make things better.
No, they didn't.
Nothing.
HP wanted the
Exactly.
HP wanted the patents. That's all they're doing. They wanted the patents.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They wanted nothing to do with that business because they knew the mobile market was already sewed up between iOS and Android. In fact, Microsoft should just get the hell out of mobile. Seriously,
altogether.
Microsoft abandoned it. You got other things that you can make more money off of. For instance, Microsoft is supposedly buying Mojang, developers, I think I pronounced that correctly, developers of Minecraft, for $2 billion. Mm-hmm. And allegedly, Marcus Notch Pearson will not, has hinted that he will not be involved much with the company after the deal goes through.
Which means one thing. It means say goodbye to the Minecraft you know today. It's gone.
Yeah.
Because say what you want, but history has shown that Microsoft takes over something like a game developer, it's going to go to shit. But not only
Where's Rare?
Well, yeah. But
what happened to Rare?
Yeah.
Rare got bought by Microsoft. Yeah. Microsoft closed the name and just merged it into its own entity. So.
But
what's the last time you've seen something that Rare themselves has developed as a studio?
Killer Instinct recently, but that was I don't even think it was Rare. I think it was like some. I don't even know. I don't even try to pretend.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I think it was part of the
Kinect. They made Kinect Sports.
Yeah, that's right.
They made Kinect Sports Rivals.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But the last real one that I remember was one of those games, the Benzooie something, that kind of crap thing. Oh. Banjo Kazooie or something like that.
Oh, they made a Conquer Live and Reloaded, a remake of Conquer's Bad Fur.
That's true.
Yeah, they've also made what was the
Banjo
one?
Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
There you go.
What's the one with the chick who's trying to be like James Bond?
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a launch title for the 360. Well, the second game was.
Second game, yeah.
Since then, I don't know.
But the point being, Notch, he was like the backbone. I mean, he made sure that Minecraft stayed pure of bullshit, that it was just Minecraft the way everybody likes it, added things that people enjoy. I have a feeling with Microsoft, they're gonna do shit that's gonna piss people off. And it's going to fuck up the game, and I can already see it happen. It's give it like 6 months, and then we'll really see what happens.
I guarantee you that Minecraft port for the PS4 will die really quick.
Oh yeah, I was just telling my son, I'm like, I bet it won't end up on PlayStation for long.
Yeah,
well, supposedly there was already a port. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I think that what I can add is probably not only PS4 that's going to drop. It's probably going to be also any platforms that are other than Microsoft.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Like
how
Android.
Many? How many Minecraft?
Remember, there's a Pocket version that you could play on the Android and also the Apple for iPad. So they'll probably end up dropping that too.
How many Minecraft servers run on Linux?
Majority. Well, I would say that 99% of the servers are on Linux.
Most of them. My 2 Minecraft servers are running on it. Because it's better for allocating the memory and stuff like that. And Java works really good in Linux, which is the backbone of Minecraft. So,
is it going to switch from Java to .NET?
That's a good question. That's where again
the
things could get fucked up, and that's why I'm saying give it. Again, they're at 1.8. They just came out with the 1.8.
Well. The current Microsoft version runs, I believe, in a .NET framework because all Microsoft games run pretty much, or for arcade, run in some type of .NET environment.
They may have converted. They may have converted it. I'm not too sure on that, but
there's no Java on Xbox. There's no Java.
There's no Java, right? So it has to be .NET. I'm sure, but
or C Sharp.
Or
C Sharp. C Sharp is pretty standard. So.
Yeah, but C# is a pretty good programming language. I mean, it does have a lot of roots in Java. It's not a hard convert. It's really not.
No.
In fact, C# does do certain things better than Java does.
Yeah.
C#'s a very good code base. But, we'll see what happens. I think I kind of looking forward to see what Microsoft does. I mean, they're going to get some money behind it. Microsoft has put a lot of effort into Minecraft. They realize that's a big seller on the Xbox. They've been very happy with it. That Doctor Who skin pack came out, which was pretty cool. They have exclusives for the Xbox. I haven't seen any exclusives for the PlayStation or anything. So I think this may be a good buy for Microsoft to finally have a real franchise under their hood, or at least something other than Halo.
Yeah, but I think that the fact that they released a few exclusive on the Xbox is probably just because of the purchase. Because before they announce a purchase, usually it can go like 3 or 4 months before they announce it. So that's probably why they had some, specific package only for Microsoft Xbox.
Yeah. Well, quick shifting gears per se, as they would say. First photo released of the Batmobile from the new Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, or whatever the hell they're calling it these days. God, I hate that title. Have you guys seen this picture yet?
Yep.
Yeah, it's what I figured they were going to do. They would take the Tumbler, but make it more into kind of what a traditional Batmobile looks like. It's kind of a mix between the two.
I don't remember the Batmobile heavy machine guns, but
I know.
No, exactly. I was about to say that. It's like, are they trying to build more a tank or just like?
Well, they did say, I don't know, Eric, if you read The Dark Knight Returns or not from Frank Miller.
Sadly, I didn't read them, but I saw some part of movies and stuff, but it's
the movie's
quite
good.
far.
I do recommend
but it's quite far from the actual story on books and stuff.
Yeah, the only good Frank Miller comics from Batman are The Dark Knight Returns and Year One. Don't read anything else; they're all crap. Especially The Dark Knight Strikes Back. But this new Batmobile, the Batmobile in Dark Knight Returns was a tank. Literally, it was a damn tank. And Batman even made a commentary like, I made it for a tank for urban pacification. So apparently they're going more along those lines of, hey, let's make it into a tank, which kind of reminds me kind of the Tim Burton era where he put machine guns on the Batmobile and you decide to murder tons of people. But yeah, I like it. I think it looks cool. Kind of looks like what they're doing for Dark Knight or Arkham Knight. Kind of looks like that one.
I think it looks cool, but I just like the more traditional look of the Batmobile.
Kind of like the Burton, or are you going like 1969?
More like the Burton. 1969 looks a little bit too cartoonish for me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Burton one, and only just the first one in Returns.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
What about the ugliest one? Honest to God, it has to be Batman and Robin. That piece of shit, I wish they would just drive it off the fucking cliff and just be done with it. It just looks horrific. Like, it doesn't even have a top. It's like, here, hop in, and then it's got a giant wing that just looks stupid, like he's overcompensating for something.
With the bat nipples.
And then the bat nipples on top of that.
I have to admit that is the worst.
It was the worst Batmobile in the worst movie ever.
No.
All right, hold on a second.
I will defend that movie.
Okay.
It is a great adaptation of the 1969 TV series.
Okay, I have to give you that. But
and that was the Batman they were going for. Like Dick Sprang, 1960s era, it works great.
Right.
And it is a great adaptation of that era of Batman. And that representation of Batman. It is not a representation of modern Batman, but of that Batman.
Exactly, because they start with a modern Batman and they reverted to the 1960s.
To be fair, they got really scared after Batman Returns, and I don't blame them. I mean, that was like as dark as you could get without going to really rated R territory.
Yeah.
And that frightened them, and they're like, "This is our moneymaker. We need to make it more kid friendly." Unfortunately, they went a little too far.
Indeed.
Yeah, but that is not the worst Batman movie. Dark Knight Rises is the worst Batman movie.
Yeah.
And listen to some of our past shows with 4TW Radio. You'll hear me rant on about how much I hate that movie. That is not a Batman movie. Batman doesn't quit because his girlfriend dies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have to say that Batman always been out there and, step up.
And Batman never quits. And just, it's full of stupidity. Yes, let's send every cop we have into the sewers. That might be a trap. Just saying. It's a trap. Just saying. I expect more. But yeah, well, I'm not getting into how much I hate that movie again. Yeah, that's the worst Batman movie because that's not even a Batman movie. But still, not getting into that again. But hey, you want to record a lot of episodes of the 1969 Batman series, you can now. Mm-hmm. TiVo's introducing a brand new box that can hold 26,000 hours of TV. It's a rack mount stand, pretty much.
I'm not sure I want that under my TV, though. Because I'm trying to save space in my living room, not add stuff that takes space.
I have seen people that will use this. They have literally server racks for all their equipment in like some room in their house. Mm-hmm. Considering a price of $5,000, I see it being one of those kinds of devices. Mm-hmm. I've been in houses like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the TiVo Mega.
Yeah, it does look... I don't know. It looks like they went the Apple way on the server look. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, it does look like Apple. It really does.
They removed the Apple logo and put the TiVo logo instead.
Actually, the TiVo logo does look like the Apple logo.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. To me, though, it's kind of a good thing what they did because it has that server rack kind of feel, but it looks like it would be very good for people that have entertainment centers and they want to make it look good and put it a part of their center. So this looks like something that you can install and it'll look real nice. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Here's my question. Just real quick. Who the hell uses a TiVo still?
I mean,
that was a good question because I don't use that anymore.
Most people don't because number one, if you do actually, I'm not one of the ones that has an actual cable box anymore because honestly, there's no need. I'm gonna get everything online, so streaming and whatnot. The other thing is, if you do happen to have a cable box, 9 times out of 10, it has built-in DVR capability, which most cable companies now pretty much. I mean, if they charge you for it, it's very little, and most people just go with it.
Well, most company always advertise that you get the first recorder, included, and it's usually the basic one where you can record between 4 or 8 hours. Right. But you can always upgrade to the super duper one. So
yeah. This is honestly what this is for. This is for the niche, however you say it, consumer. Niche. Yeah, this is for those people, the people that have a specific use. They have. I'll be honest with you. Let's be honest. I'm almost guaranteeing you the people that do torrent a lot of shows are going to jump on this because, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on the cost.
Still only has 2 tuners, probably.
I mean, I guess it depends on the cost difference and how easy it would be because TiVo is known to give you the capability of being able to hook it straight to your computer, and you could transfer anything from that DVR to your hard drive.
Yeah.
So.
But again, if you look at it's kind of beefy in terms of space,
right?
And the price tag is at $5,000. You can get any NAS storage for about $800.
I just saw the price. I thought it was cheaper. I didn't see the price. No. This is going to be for those people that have money to throw around and they just want it for names. Oh, I have a super mega TiVo box.
Exactly.
That's it.
I can spend about $900 and get a NAS storage, and I'm going to be able to do the same thing.
Exactly, and more. You can get more for cheap, way cheaper. So
It has a 20. Excuse me. It houses 10 hot swappable hard drives, totaling 24 terabytes of storage, set up in a RAID 5 array. So at least they have some redundancy put in.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah, and it's actually one of the few companies that decide to use the RAID 5 array, because usually they always go for on a mirror only, or just a strip.
Yeah, well, I would take it that they probably need some tech or anything if one of the drives dies. Hopefully it's just hot swappable like a NAS or something, make it really simple. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing runs on some custom version of FreeNAS or something like that.
Possibly.
It would not surprise me one bit. I want to see what the guts of this thing is when they finally release it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think Carty said, it's going to be a niche product. I don't anticipate many people owning this thing.
People with money to just throw around.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like football players. But one football player that won't be having much money soon will probably be Ray Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not going to get into that discussion. This is the wrong show for it.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he is a scumbag.
Yeah.
But since he has been suspended, and I would hope banned eventually from the NFL for what he did, he has been pulled from Madden NFL 15.
Yep.
Following his indefinite suspension. Now, this isn't the first time they've done this. They have done this before and removed people due to various reasons.
Like Michael Vick.
Like Michael Vick, and Aaron Hernandez was removed.
Aaron Hernandez, yep. The murderer bastard.
Yeah. But, I have to, much as the EA I consider to be the evil empire of gaming, I'll give them credit. Good for you, EA. I don't know if there's a mandate from the NFL or not, but, hey, I'll give you credit where credit is due.
Yep.
You're doing the right thing for once. So good for you, EA. You're sticking to something decent here.
Yep.
If he gets reinstated, you think they'll put him back in?
Well, sure. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
They can do game update now on console, so it's not really a big deal. You can
Michael,
just remove it and add it.
Michael Vick's back in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the newer versions, and so.
Well, they're removing Rice actually from online play, so they're doing a live update to remove him. So even if you're already on the game, he's being removed. So
it's gonna suck for the people that do the what is it called, the challenge card game or what?
Yeah.
I've never done it, but if they chose him as one of their, which he was like a main player, like a really good running back, so you can imagine there's a lot of people pissed off for just that, but I think it'll be minimal fallout. No, I don't think anyone will care. Based on what he did, outweighs any possible negative repercussions from the game community. So,
yeah. Well,
speaking of game community,
yeah.
Well,
touchy subject.
Yeah, Carty, why don't you lead us into main topic for tonight?
Yeah, so our main topic for tonight, guys, and I'm going to pull up the website.
Our soapbox topic. I'm going to call it our soapbox topic.
So, basically, the douchebag president of ESPN.
He does work for Disney, so that may be about accurate.
Yeah, his name is
John Skipper.
Douchebag. Okay. Skipper, yeah, that I could imagine a skipper being a piece of shit like that who's out of touch with reality. Anyway. Basically said
Send
that
him on a 3-hour tour.
Yeah, he said esports is not a sport at all. Now, being a person that I am, that I've been following esports since its infancy. I've been to CPL before on my own. I've with Matt, we built a team that almost went to WCG. Of course, they got our asses kicked down in Miami. That was funny. Long story I won't go into. But,
well,
I mean...
Moral of the story, though, don't steal drugs from a don't steal drugs from a supermarket.
Yeah, we'll save that story for another day, but bottom line is this. Fuck you, you piece of shit, out of touch of reality piece of crap, because everyone who's a gamer, and even people that know gamers can tell you that esports is legitimate. It is for real. And here's the thing, and I've had this argument with guys at one of my previous jobs, this one guy, he's like a big Madden player. Okay, that should tell you a lot. I mean, all he did is play sports games. People that play sports games don't really. Most of them, I'll be honest, are just fucking simple people. They just don't have a sense for real esports.
But they're hardcore gamers.
Oh yeah, of course, right? Because you put it on all Madden mode and you can beat it. Please get the fuck out of here. Bottom line is this, okay?
But they can play a bitching game of Halo.
Well, see, and the thing is, these idiots would say, well, if you look at the definition of sport, it's athletic and you have to move around, throw football.
I sent you an article.
Yeah.
Pro gamers are athletes, says USA government.
Yep. And the funny thing is about that, which I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, I mean, it just pisses me the fuck off. Oops, hold on a second. Sorry, I just fucked up. All right.
Riot Games actually was the big lobbyist in this. The makers of League of Legends.
Where did
Good
that
for
fucking
Riot
webpage
Games.
pull up? You just sent me the same fucking webpage, idiot.
It's below it.
No, you didn't. Oh.
It must have embedded it in the link.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
it's the same fucking webpage, idiit.
Hang on. Oh, that's because the stupid website does things. Hang on.
Swear to God, I'm gonna punch you right in the mouth.
Not me. It's Kotaku. They're like,
Anyway.
oh, we embed the link in the link.
Well, my Admiral Jackass continues fucking up. Let me finish my rant here. So, okay,
There you go.
first off,
There you go.
of course you would have it now.
Yes.
Sorry for the delay.
Live, people.
Live. Yeah, fucking asshole, Matt. Anyway. Alright, so... Yeah, so as you can see here in this article, even the U.S. government is even acknowledging that it's legitimate. I mean, when you look at games like Dota 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, League of Legends, okay, and going all the way back to the past where, Quake 2, there was a big thing where this guy, he was, quote unquote, invented the rocket jump. Can't remember his name, but he was the first one to win the very first big tournament.
Thrash,
and he won, maybe that's his name, but he won a Ferrari. I think it was a Ferrari. Anyway, it was a big deal because it's like, wait a minute, it wasn't like, because a lot of people when they saw gaming, computer gaming, they didn't think much of it. Console gaming was taken more serious than PC gaming from the general public point of view. They would kind of associate it with arcade games and shit like that. But skip ahead to present day. So many companies like Intel, Samsung, BenQ, Zowie, Razer, I could just keep listing a bunch of them. Alienware, they've invested millions upon millions of dollars, especially in the last few years, investing in professional athletes, esports, as they're called, cyber athletes is what they're called, and they're nothing but legit. If you see the time, the effort they put in rigorous training. I'm talking not just playing a video game for 4 to 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. They're actually doing physical activity as well, because to have muscle memory, to have good hand-eye coordination, it helps to be physically fit. So a lot of them do this.
Look how svelte you are.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, there's guys like Hiko, for example, from Cloud9 is a big guy like me, and bottom line is, look at guys like Clown from back EFG, back in CS Source. Look at Mo. Those guys were like built, and they worked out, and that helped them a lot with their reaction time. But that being set aside, bottom line is it's legitimate. It's as legitimate as it's going to be. People in this world are just going to deny it until it's right in their face. a lot of these same idiots, that, especially the ones that I was mentioning earlier about these guys I argued with at my old job, that were telling me, oh, it's not, it has to be sports and, physical hit and all this kind of stupid shit.
Hey, if they can call a poker game being
yeah.
Actually, most people don't consider poker to be a sport. But guess what? Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's on ESPN, though, right?
It's on ESPN.
Yeah.
And they consider it a sport and something like competitive.
Exactly.
I mean...
Who airs the spelling bee?
ABC or CBS or... Wait, no.
Has been.
Hold on.
Is it C-SPAN?
ESPN. ESPN airs the script spelling bee.
My God, the double standards just keep piling up.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe the script spelling bee is aired on ESPN.
But you know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to go up to the ESPN president.
They do air it on ESPN.
And show him the stats from that CSGO ESL 1 match. How over 500,000 people watched that finals. Okay? Which was more than most people watch football and shit like that on any given day. I mean, and this is just online. You have to be on a computer or have like a mobile device or something to watch it via Twitch, or if you did through the game through Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Now,
they even have channels now on PS4 and Xbox where you can just live.
Yeah, Twitch
watch
through the consoles. Yeah,
exactly.
Now,
so
here's something interesting I just read.
Fucking grinds my gears.
ESPN2 was showed a preview, or may have already aired, the grand finals for Dota 2's The International. ESPN2 aired it. And there's a big hoopla about ESPN fans being like, well, these aren't real sports. Now we got John Skipper saying, quote, esports is, well, in quotes, is not a sport. It's a competition. Chess is a competition. Checkers is a competition. Mostly, I'm interested in doing real sports. This is asked because he was asked about Amazon's $970 million purchase of Twitch, which I believe we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I think we talked about that on the show that did not get recorded.
We mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, just so you don't, those you don't know, Amazon purchased Twitch, which good for Amazon's looking to really build themselves into almost a TV network per se. Yeah. They really are on the way of doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a big I don't play a lot of esports. But in my mind, I mean, the definition of a sport is to play happily in a happily and lively way. That's a definition of sport.
Sounds like a Nintendo rep. That's what you sound like right now.
Yeah. God, that does almost describe a Nintendo game.
It is.
Anyways.
Yeah. Smash Brothers. Anyway.
The fact is, you make money playing esports. It does require physical training. It requires mental training. Yeah. It's not just, oh my God, I sit there and just move a little chess piece around the board and use my brain. Playing chess is not very, isn't a sport. I agree. NASCAR driving is a sport. I don't care what anybody says. That is a hard-ass shit to do. Mm-hmm. So you try sitting in one of those machines going 200 miles an hour in the freaking heat.
Wearing a fire-resistant suit.
And you don't have a power steering in those things.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
Not at
don't.
All. No power steering. I mean, The thing is that...
Have you seen many chunky fat asses in a NASCAR? No.
Not at all.
No.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson a little bit.
Fit.
But it's ludicrous. This guy, just like a lot of dumbasses out there that... you mention, hey, I made money once upon a time playing video games, and they go, really? They paid you? I'm like, yeah, tournaments and stuff like that, and they just kind of shrug it off. And that is the fundamental fucking problem right now with the U.S. compared to everybody else in Europe and Asia, everywhere else, is that they see the potential of esports, and they're taking advantage of it as being right up there with just like watching football or aka soccer or any other professional event.
No, just look at what happened with the StarCraft 2 competition.
Yeah,
they were expecting just a little bit, and then it's like skyrocketed.
It blew up. Yeah, it was just out of this world. And Dota 2, same thing. I mean, they had the largest pot of any game was Dota 2, and it was like in the millions. It was like
It was $10 million.
$10 million.
$10 million.
ESPN was going to broadcast it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's right.
ESPN 2, I'm sorry.
ESPN 2, yeah.
Having Skipper say what he said, I highly doubt that he's going to jump over a way to make more money. I mean, I don't care what he said, but tomorrow morning, if he gets an email or a phone call from somebody saying, hey, would you like to hear it? It's going to pay you that much. Well, obviously, he's going to say yes.
And guess what? There is a lot of money in esports. And if you don't believe me, look at, I mean, there's so many, like, you go to any Twitch channel of streaming a professional, like Cloud9 or any of these guys. I mean, these guys are fully sponsored by, like, Alienware, Logitech, right. Huge companies, and they're seriously, I mean, they're serious.
Okay, but let's take a look here at history real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So, G4 tried to make esports televisable.
Yeah.
That failed epically.
Yeah, because
I think we can all agree.
Yeah, and it was not the right time at that moment.
Same thing with DirecTV. Let's not forget that either. CGS, that was actually just a financial failure because they put a lot of money into it and they didn't make up that money because, let's be honest, they didn't do proper advertising. And to be honest, it was too early. It was too early.
I think the problem with esports, and you know what? And by the way, people, back in the 1900s, people considered professional athlete to be a joke profession. You play baseball for a living?
They laughed at you.
Yeah. That's shit. It wasn't until like Babe Ruth, until like the 30s, that really became, 40s till that became popular. Football was a joke. And it was just a bunch of people getting together and playing games. There was no real money in football when it first started.
Hockey, the same thing.
All sports started off making no money and being jokes, and then eventually they became serious. Esports is going to be the same way. The problem is that anybody can be an esport athlete. You don't have to, be you don't have to take steroids to be. Anybody can, Chris, if you're willing to dedicate yourself to it and train yourself and work towards it.
That's where I'm going to have to stop you there. That's where I differ, your opinion, and this is why I say that. There's a lot of people, even myself, even Eric, others that have put a lot of time into the game, and let's be honest, you put us in a match against any one of these, even a low-end invite team, we'll get our asses kicked. Why? Because some people, just like in football and basketball, any other sport, they could go for it, but it doesn't mean they're going to go to the top or even close to the top, even close to the bottom. And that comes down to the person has to be built a certain way. Either they have naturally good hand-eye coordination, they have good skills multitasking, things like that. I mean, yes, you do have not any, and I'm glad you said that because now I remember that was the second part of the argument I had with this idiot at that job, was that he was saying, well, I could go be a professional right now. I'll just play the game nonstop, like 4 hours, 5 hours a day. And I'm like, dude, you could do that all day long and study pros and this and that. But if you can't hit the shot right, or if you can't understand angles or whatever the case may be, then all that time you wasted is for nothing. It's because it's just like any other profession. It's not meant for everybody, period. That's all. That's why I think esports will become eventually its own definition. It'll be finalized and put as like in the dictionary, esports is, what it is.
The only way I could see esports finally taking off, and there have been inroads to this, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. An establishment of an official league of some sort. Now, there are multiple leagues out there, and I say leagues because there are.
Oh, yeah.
But no one single organization has said we are going to be the go-to organization for esports or the primary for multi-game competitive gaming.
Well, they tried.
Many have tried.
Yeah, they've tried.
Many, but usually they get stuck in
CPL.
it. Yeah, but they usually get stuck in some niche like Counter-Strike or Quake or something else.
Yeah.
Especially since the unlike a sport like football or basketball or anything like that, you don't have a standard game or set of rules. The game of the moment, the popular game could change at any time. You know, today it could be, well, I don't know, what's the biggest FPS right now, probably going right now?
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Counter-Strike Global? Okay.
Yep,
I wasn't sure if it was or not. Okay, and before that, it was Battlefield or, Call of Duty. Or
Call of Duty, CS Source 1.6.
1.6, yeah.
1.6 is
Quake.
still big.
The original Quake. Quake 2, Quake 3. Quake 3. Quake 3 still... Quake Live is very popular.
Yeah, I play Quake Live every once in a while.
I do too.
There's guys that played back in the day that still play it. There's a guy from Titan that's like on the top of the top 5, and he used to play against like Fatality and shit back in the day, and he's still playing. You know,
our old community, the Destruction Crew, by the way, come back at dc.admiraljoker.com, was a very big Quake 3 clan.
Yeah. Yeah, the old DC clan, which we were a part of back in the day, fully sponsored by Mad Cats, and just they were one of the top in North America for Quake, and as well as Unreal Tournament. And it's just, I mean, when you're at that kind of level of gameplay, man, it's like it's unreal. Unreal Tournament. Anyway. But I mean, all the FPS games, you think back, right? You think back from the beginning to present day. I mean, there's so many, from Painkiller to Quake to Unreal Tournament to Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. I mean, the list goes on. But I think at the end of the day, though, I think eventually there will be a unified league of some kind, because I know... CEVO is still around. ESCA is probably the biggest and has probably the biggest chance of accomplishing that, because ESCA is doing a really good job with Counter-Strike, has been for a long time. They're considered the premier league. Like, if you want to be the best in Counter-Strike, that's where you go.
But they do have to fix their anti-cheat system, though.
Well, it's not perfect. I mean, it catches almost all of them, but... There's still private cheaters out there, that private developers, and to be honest, it's not. And I've said this with you guys before, off stream and everything, that there are private cheats out there, but to be honest, it's not a majority. It literally is a minority. I mean, they're a lot of them think they could get away with it, and then eventually they get caught. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's probably better than any other anti-cheat out there.
Yeah. Well, it's better than VAC, that's for sure.
Way better than VAC is a joke. It's not even an anti-cheat, really. It's just a check system that checks for absolutely nothing.
What about it's like your antivirus on your system. It's a feeling of security, but that's it.
That's it, yeah. Exactly.
What about MGL?
MLG, you mean?
MLG, I'm sorry.
Major League Gaming is still big. They're still around. Their focus has always been mostly console, but also PC gaming, and they're still around. The biggest ones right now is ESWC, which is the finals is going to be, I believe, in Spain. DreamHack, that's the other one. DreamHack is the equivalent of what CPL was back in the day. For Matt, so I know, Matt, you don't know a little about this, so that's what I'm telling you.
What
DreamHack is.
I remember what DreamHack was.
No, not was. You don't know what DreamHack is, dumbass. Don't pretend like you know. Shut up.
Yeah,
DreamHack is what... DreamHack is... okay, maybe you're confused. I'm not saying CPL became DreamHack. That's
DreamHack it's a big LAN party thing in Sweden, isn't it, or something like that?
Yes. It's a huge LAN. It usually is held in Sweden. Well, it always is held in Sweden. They have a winter one and they have a summer one.
That's what I meant. I've heard of it.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is they have 2 a year.
Yeah.
And that is pretty. And it sucks because pretty much what they're trying to do, and this is what we may hear about next year, and I hope this comes to fruition, and that is there is a talk of a DreamHack equivalent coming to the U.S. in North America. That we will have something that big here again, like CPL used to do, like WCG did, where they came to Vegas, and you know. So hopefully, let's cross our fingers, because let me tell you something, man. It sucks.
If id got their head out of their ass, they could turn Quake World into that.
Or even so, like, honestly, I would like to see id. You know, I know there's rumors that they're working on another Doom and another Quake.
There is another Doom. They've already showed the previews and stuff. That's happened.
I mean the other Quake. There's a rumor of another Quake, and that it might be more aimed towards, you know, professional gaming and that sort of thing. Yeah. I hope it happens, because...
But for sure there's going to be a Quake. Look, when they released Doom 3, they released Quake 4 and everything else after, because it was a new engine. So they always come up with a new Quake.
So I can imagine they will. It's just a matter of time. But honestly, you know...
Oh, I'm sorry. QuakeCon. I'm saying QuakeCon. I'm sorry. Yeah. QuakeCon could become the... I had a brain fart there. QuakeCon could become this big event, at least in the U.S. I mean, it's huge every year.
It's huge on its own, but it's not DreamHack.
But because it has that moniker of being, you know, QuakeCon. Yeah. You know, I don't think it has direct control over it. I think another studio does.
They do other games. They don't just Quake. So,
but, you know, QuakeCon could turn into that if they kind of started going in that direction. Then I don't know what the hell happened.
It's not going to happen. They don't have enough backing. It's popular, but not as popular as what they could get. So they're going to have to come up with something new, or there is a strong possibility that the guys who run DreamHack could hire more, because they bring in a lot of money. They could end up basically creating a DreamHack US. It's a possibility, but
why not?
It's just why not, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because DreamHack is basically like right now they have one on Moscow, and the next one is also at Stockholm. So they always have something new.
Always.
But QuakeCon is once a year. I don't think they went further than that.
It's once a year. Yeah.
So in order to be bigger, besides that one event, they need to start hosting it at other locations. Let's say New York, California, or something.
DreamHack has, according to what I just read, they did partner with the MLG and ESL in growing into the North American and European esports.
Oh, that's ESL, by the way. Is the other entity, which is ran by Intel, is their main sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Intel's making a major inroads too. They're really wanting to compete.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Why they never bought Nvidia is beyond me.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I guess they didn't want to commit the mistake that AMD did.
How? ATI is still doing really well.
They almost crashed when they purchased. They were a whole year where they went all the way down, and they had problems.
Yeah, but their graphics card business is the only thing keeping that company alive at this point.
Right. Exactly. That's why I said they almost crashed. Because
AMD's got... I'm sorry, their CPUs are not as good as Intel's. I don't know if they'll ever reclaim that again. I think Intel learned from their mistakes, and we're never going to see that again.
No, with all the benchmark I did, I mean, don't get me wrong, AMD is still good for the buck, you know, because it's not expensive.
Come on.
No,
come back around. I know. Save that for another discussion.
Yes, we shall. The rise and fall of AMD. I mean, we'll discuss that one week.
But guys, I have one question, I guess, to kind of like sum everything up, right?
Okay.
So the question is this: do you see esports continuing to grow and shutting up people like this ESPN idiot and just blowing everything away, and eventually the U.S. catching on to what Europe and everyone else is doing? Or do you see the U.S. still being stagnant, still being stubborn? We're all about football and baseball and blah, blah, blah.
And to be fair, every other countries, we're all about soccer.
Right. So do you see it progressing, or do you see the U.S., specifically the U.S., or I should actually, let's say North America, include Canada. Do you see it coming on or not?
You go first, Eric.
All right. What I see is that worldwide, esports is becoming something huge. It could be in Europe, it could be Asia, it could be even in South America. It's huge. People are jumping on it. Mm-hmm. North America and Canada included, because obviously I'm there, so that's why Carty brought that up.
You're Canadian?
Yeah, I'm Canadian.
He just had a speech impediment.
Oh, funny. You should talk.
I think that esports is going to stay at the level they are right now in North America simply because nobody wants to jump in. They're all scared of what's going to happen because they have no idea what's going on.
That's why all the LAN centers closed down, because they don't want to invest in it anymore. They don't want to put out the money to bring big prizes or even medium-sized prizes and have sponsorships and all the things you need to have a successful LAN center like they used to back in the day.
LAN centers closed because broadband became more prevalent here in the States. Yep. And we as Americans are lazy-ass motherfuckers who don't want to haul our giant-ass rigs, which many of us had, to our local LAN center when we could just do it from our home on our cable modem. Mm-hmm. And I think that the only way we could see a real change in the environment is if the LAN environment comes back, or live video streaming of the people while they're playing. It's very hard to spectator sport a video game. You don't see any facial reaction. You don't have any of that connection with the player that you get with football. Right. It's like it is exactly like trying to listen to a game on the radio. I can't do it.
I even do one better using that same comparison. It's like comparing listening to it on the radio as opposed to going to the actual game, because let me tell you, from every person I know, especially people that have never been to a LAN, and say they, like a friend of mine, he never been to a LAN in his life. He's a young kid. He's like 17. He just went, they did a LAN at his friend's house. Just a simple LAN, but it was like 5 or 6 people. And he had the most fun he has ever had. He's like sold. And I said, just imagine that. Just imagine that on a scale of like 200, 300, 400 more people, sometimes 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, I loved going to LAN parties. I really did. It was the most fun I had once every couple months. Going to Laced LAN, which was our local LAN Carty and I used to go to, was fun.
Yeah. Pulling an all-nighter.
Yeah.
Staying up 3 days straight.
Exactly.
The biggest problem I had with LAN centers wasn't the environment as much as the douchebags that ran them.
Oh God!
Oh my God! Did
the guy
we deal with
Ring X?
No, or the dude in the wheelchair?
Yeah, that ran Alien Gamer or whatever they called it.
Warzone,
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, this guy. He was.
He wasn't bad. It was his friends that were the problem.
Well, just a quick story. This wheelchair douchebag. Okay, apparently he was 19 and he was going across the street, and apparently a Coke truck hit him, and he sued him and got a bunch of money. And he used a lot of that money to become a partner into this LAN center. And because he was a partner, because he was a part owner, he took the liberty of basically boss hogging people around when the other owners weren't there. And they had these Australian friends of his, and I don't know why they were Australian, but they were. And they were just complete assholes, and they didn't like getting killed. And they, if you own them, and they would just get up and get in your face, and it's just like, this is not fun,
We actually had a brawl in the LAN center breakout over knifing.
Crazy. Yeah, the guy knifed him.
I kid you not. We would goad them by saying cut, cut, cut. Apparently, in Australian, that means your mom. I banged your mom or something. Yeah. Because apparently he came in hit one of our friends, and then a brawl broke out.
Yeah, that's great.
And for those people that say esports is not physical, you've never been into a geek brawl.
Yeah, it was pretty
Do
bad.
it on a LAN, and then you get real sports.
But guys...
I went to a LAN party, and a boxing match broke out. Then we take out our plastic lightsabers and start hitting each other with them. And
oh, God.
Then it just started escalating from there.
But LANs, man. LANs, just to give people an idea who've never been to one, you bring your computer there, you have... Whether it has a decent internet connection, doesn't matter. You're connected. If you're playing a multiplayer game on LAN, it's super fast, quick. You don't have lag or any of that shit to worry about.
No.
You have all these people there. People that you know, people you don't know. You meet people. You get to just have a ton of fun, man. It's not even just about really. It's not really even about the gaming necessarily, as it is the experience as a whole. I mean, It really is.
It's fun yelling and taunting the guys actually in person rather than over mic.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's awesome.
Just picture yourself like you're being Cloud9 and the Ninja in Pajamas or whatever when they're on the stage. But just picture 50 people sitting on tables, and when they win, when they lose, they can sit up and go shake hands.
And to me. Until they bring the spectacle into esports, which right now we don't. Back on topic, we don't have the ability to see the players play the game, other than see them play the game online or on TV, especially if they're over the internet. It's a lot more difficult, and I think that's what's holding it back. Is they don't have this tech capability yet.
Well, Twitch is helping with that. Twitch
is helping, and live,
with that.
And live streaming is the beginnings. We're seeing I think that's what Amazon is going to do.
Yeah,
Amazon's going to take this idea and expand it because Amazon has the capital.
Oh yeah,
and they know there's a lot of money to be had.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it's going to blow up.
It wouldn't surprise me to see an Amazon sponsored event, for gaming or something.
Oh, we will.
That's for sure.
I don't think it's going to get to the level. And video games in general have gone from becoming since the 80s of being a children's thing. Which if you go 10 years ago and say, "Oh, I'm a gamer," they look you like, "Wow, you never grew up." To now being, oh, okay, whatever. You like to play video games, no big deal. Oh, you like to watch cartoons too? Freaking kid. A little dig in all the anime fans out there. It's okay. I watch anime. Man. And I watch Looney Tunes, but we won't talk about that. But anyways, once we get to that point, I think it'll expand. And this moron at ESPN is just trying to protect his interests of saying the esports isn't real. Whatever, you're part of a giant company that they themselves invested tons of money in video games.
I'll tell you what I like to see, and I think we'll see it in the future. Companies like Nike or Reebok coming out with
nice
specific gear for guys that play esports.
They already started with
trying to do that.
Glasses. They have esport glasses.
Well, they have esports glasses, which multiple companies kind of copying what Gunner has done. Gunner glasses, by the way, I would recommend. I'm actually ordering a pair next week. That's prescription because you can get them in prescription now, and it's it makes all the difference. Because first off, it makes everything clear. And it reduces the strain on your eyes. And that's things that you need, not just as a esports gamer, but a regular gamer or just somebody that's in front of a monitor all the time.
You getting the big purple frame rim ones? Do I look like,
No, I saw those. Those are funny. No, I'm getting ones that kind of look like my Oakley ones. They're just silver frame and go over my eyes. So yeah,
you getting they come with the yellow lenses, right?
Yeah, they're yellow tinted. Yep, and you can get them in your own prescription. Which for you, since you have contacts now, You just get, the regular ones.
Part of the reason I got contacts, I got tired of not being able to get decent sunglasses without spending a small fortune.
Yeah. I'm actually about to buy new lenses for my Ray-Bans, and the lenses are going to cost about $250, $300.
Jesus, don't you have insurance?
Yeah, my insurance is going to pay.
Oh, wait, never mind. I know who your insurer is. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My I also have a spending account, so I have plenty of money there. So I'm going to use that.
That's good. All right. Well, my recommendation for you this week is a Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray pack. Both of them beautifully restored in 4K HD. Yeah, they're still typical Blu-rays, but you know what? It's fucking Ghostbusters. So, and it's the first time you got Ghostbusters 2 on Blu-ray, so I do suggest you go buy it.
Yep, and Godzilla and
yes,
the Captain America Winter Soldier as well, right?
Yeah, Captain America was last week.
That was last week, yeah, that's right.
But this week, Godzilla 2. Make sure you buy Godzilla on Blu-ray. That movie is freaking awesome.
It's badass.
Not as good as Pacific Rim, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I put the link in the chat here so you can look it up on the Amazon for Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah.
And it shows I purchased the item. When the hell did I buy this? Oh yeah. Beware of Amazon pre-order button. That can be the bane of your existence when you're an impulse buyer.
Yeah, I get caught doing that shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Prime member, Amazon credit card owner. Yeah, not good.
If you want to talk about this and more, please visit our website at 4tw.admiraljoker.com. Also, go to our forums at 4twforums.admiraljoker.com. We'll have 4TW Network up and running real soon, I promise.
Oh, yeah.
And Carty's going to be probably working on the forums this week, so we actually have some forums to start talking about stuff.
Oh, yeah, we will. And plus, like you just said, I'll have the actual host name. Everything is in the works. Just money, like usual. But
time. But
yeah, it'll get set up between this weekend and the end of next week before we do the next episode.
Yeah.
So
if you have any ideas or show topics, please feel free to send them over to Carty. He'll collect those from you. Carty, where can they send them to you at?
You can message me on Twitch, which is, if you notice on my screen here at the top, Carty loves you. You can message me in there, and I'll be able to pick it up from there. Also, Carty TV on YouTube, if you look that up. But that's just where most of the highlight videos go. And this show, I'll actually put it there along with 4TW. We have our own YouTube channel for that as well. And you can also reach me. Did I mention
Facebook?
Well, Facebook, which I'm going to have a Facebook page set up tonight, and it's going to be Carty TV. So just look that up. I'll probably be sending a lot of people invites. So. Well, what about you, Matt? Or actually, what about you, Eric, our guest host today? You're muted, Eric.
Nope. Hello.
There you
are.
All right. I hit my keyboard, I guess. Yeah, well, basically, people can always get on my website, ericleperriere.com. I'm going to give you the link to go see it. Basically, it's going to be hints on websites, stuff like this, and obviously some how to obviously build websites and stuff like this. And also, you can also look on the gaming, CaptainRico.com. I'm going to put some gaming tips here and there from time to time.
By the way, that's CPT Rico, so not Captain spelled out.
Yeah, I went the short way because of the 8 characters we needed back in the days.
Yeah, exactly.
Big fan of Starship Troopers?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And you can find me at admiraljoker.com, and I also have a YouTube channel at admiraljoker.com. And I'll probably have I'm happy to make a kind of a comedy cooking show coming soon to 4TW Network. I know it sounds kind of weird, but trust me, it's going to be really awesome. So, new content.
Yeah, speaking of new content, if you guys have any ideas for new content, or maybe you want to do a show or something, hit us up on our website and our forums. We'll have a specific forum section just set up for suggestions.
Yes, and we are open to anything as long as it's geek related. Yeah. We don't really have any real, guidelines like, oh, it has to be like this or that. No, just make it interesting. That's all and entertaining. That's all we ask for.
Exactly.
So, and we'll promote it on the website. The website right now is mainly in blog format, but once we start getting more content, I'm going to change the whole look and layout of the site. Just kind of hard to do with what we got right now.
Yeah, because we're just, getting back on our feet here. So
exactly. And hopefully we'll have our gaming community up and running soon, too.
Which, by the way, is officially, 4TW Esports. And this is a division of 4TW Network that will deal specifically with the actual game communities, which the first community joining that will be Destruction Crew, which is an old clan that we're resurrecting, which will be more information on 4TW as well as on the Destruction Crew website, which that will be up fully next week.
If you want a preview of that, you can see it at dc.admiraljoker.com.
Right. We'll have all the links mentioned here today put in the description on the YouTube channel. So you won't have to worry about that. And if you guys need a good website made, hit up Captain Rico here. He's good. If you see my
he didn't make
TV
our website
logo,
though. That was me. So don't blame him for that.
But he does other cool shit. Like you see my Carty TV logo with the spinning thing. He did that. So if you guys need any work done, just contact me and I'll get you in contact with Captain Rico, or if you can have enough smarts to contact him directly, that's fine too. But anyway.
Alrighty, well, everyone have a good night.
Yeah, you too, guys. See ya.